And we are live on a Thursday night before the best week of football, Mr. Siciliano, Mr. Kirkpatrick, NFL Divisional Playoff weekend. I am so jealous again for the fifth straight year that I am my boys are not part of it. Mr. Siciliano, how are you, my friend?
Good evening, Mr. Valenti. I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm very good. Rough day in work today, very busy. So
Oh boy.
when I can't talk to Kenny in work, he knows it's a busy day, right? Kenny, it was really crazy today.
Yep.
But Mr. Kirkpatrick, how you feeling today?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Got that vaccine yesterday, but I see we have a special guest this evening. Mr. Nick Saban joined us. Oh wait, that's Mr. Edward
That's
Siciliano.
Mr. Sis.
That's Mr. Siciliano. That's not Nick. I almost thought that was Nick Saban down there because of how much he's glowing.
Somebody's got a
down
little
there from that
TV on.
victory.
Can somebody lower their TV a little bit? Someone's got a little TV going on, I hear.
All right, I'll be right back. That might be my TV.
That might be Mr. Kirkpatrick. He doesn't know that you can't use volume. But Mr. Sis, what's going on? You looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, I'm especially looking forward to the Buffalo Bill game.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me
That's
too.
going to be a good one. Yeah.
I'm fired up about. I'm a fan. Listen, I'm pumped for all of them. I think they all have, a little action. If we, listen, they're good games, man. Anytime you're in a divisional playoff round, you don't play around. That's big time. So, what do you want to start with tonight, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
Let's go to our picks in a couple minutes. Let's do something we didn't talk about much yesterday.
Okay.
Right now, it's the three of us. Let's talk about a firing of Mr. Doug Peterson. 2 weeks ago.
Somebody's got our volume on, though. Is anybody listening to our show with the volume? I hear myself, I think. On the phone or anything, guys? No? Okay.
There's nobody in my kitchen, so.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I was saying, let's get into Mr. Doug Peterson, who a lot of debate if they tanked that game, if they screwed the Giants, blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of going back and forth if he did or didn't. Well, what happened 2 days later? He got himself fired. He lost the locker room. Players did not want to play for him. Now the Eagles are looking for a new head coach. So let's get into Mr. Doug Peterson and Mr. Siciliano's thoughts on Mr. Doug Peterson first.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, it was a little surprising. The guy won the Super Bowl in 2018. That's number one. Number two, the thing I found really interesting, I was watching The Herd the other day, and Lori was on. And what's his name? Colin asked him, he said, can you justify firing Doug Peterson? Did he deserve to be fired? And Lori said no. So, Colin looked at him like, okay, so then why did you fire him? But anyway, getting back to your question, personally, I don't know if it was sabotaged at halftime by Lori, because when you look at the game, Hurts had 2 touchdowns. He was 12 out of 15, I believe. And all of a sudden, you're yanking the kid out of the game, man. So, everybody in the country was watching the game, and it looked like he had tanked. And I think the biggest problem now is reading the Post today. There doesn't seem, with all these teams looking for head coaches, there doesn't seem a real big interest in this guy. And I think, Kenny, you brought up a good point before. If you're on the Eagles, would you want to play for him again? Would Jalen Hurts want to go out there and, bust his butt for a guy like that? I wouldn't.
Well, Kenny, so before you answer, Kenny, I want to get a couple comments. This is from our great friend, Coach Breslin. Eagles organization should be ashamed. I think he was the scapegoat. I think someone else may have been pulling the strings. Eddie Murphy is saying if he didn't make it look so obvious about losing, he'd probably still be the head coach. And Henry Ziminoff saying Philly's now a dumpster fire team for the rest of this decade. Had a promising future after Super Bowl 52 win, before the quarterback controversy after that. Coach Breslin's also...
All good points. All good points. Agree with a little of each of them. And that's going to get into, Kurt, I want your thoughts too. And then I want to know from you guys, where does Doug Peterson go from here?
Okay, Coach Breslin is saying Hurts also struggled in the second half. The Jets may grab him.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though, sis. That's the thing, Kurt, that I just want to bring up, and then I'll let you guys go. That game, there was everybody saying that the Eagles tanked. Now, I'm a Giants fan. I don't think the guy Sudfeld should have been in there after that first series where he couldn't even hold the ball. It's like, okay.
He hadn't played. He hadn't
one
played
series
in 2 years, Kenny.
He had his one series. Get him out, put Hurts back in. But there's no guarantee, close to a guarantee, that the Eagles were still going to win that game. They're making it like Hurts was John Elway with the drive against Cleveland. They were going to win the game.
Right.
We don't know that. Okay, Hurts was 7 for 20. He was doing it with his legs, but he was 7 for 20, guys.
Right. Here's my point, Kenny.
I was thinking about those, sis. I agree with you 100%. I would give him his one series, put Hurts back in. Hurts is our future. You're obviously not trying to win the game. Wentz is sitting, not even suited up. A lot of guys sit out. Somebody like Coach Breslin said was a scapegoat, kind of like what they did with the Jets and Greg Williams and the other guys. And then finally, Gaze was the last person. So very similar situations there with the Eagles and Jets.
Okay, let me get to this, Kenny.
Give me your thoughts, Kurt, and then I want to know from you guys where Peterson goes next.
Okay, another question Coach Breslin saying is, here's my question. We'll get to this in a second, Coach. How much was Frank Wright a bigger part of that Super Bowl team? Now, here's my thing with Sis, though. What Sis said. Lori said, I don't really have an explanation. See, I don't know if he got fired because, in my opinion, of what he did with the Redskin game. I think it's honestly either him or they had a pick between him and Wentz. And why are they picking Wentz? This guy won a Super Bowl, man. He won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, Nick Foles. He beat Belichick and Brady. This guy has never had a losing season. In my opinion, I would have stayed with Peterson than stayed with Wentz. I don't listen. I think it's crazy. If I'm the Jets, I would take Peterson. Eddie Murphy's saying Wentz will probably end up being the starter next year with Peterson gone. I think that's what they did. I think they said they can't coexist. We have to pick one or the other. But, sis, how could you pick Wentz over Peterson? Peterson won you a Super Bowl.
Oh, totally agree. And again, repeating myself, this kid hadn't played in 2 years. Why would you put him in the fire out of the clear blue sky? To me, it makes absolutely no sense at all. That's why it looked like a tank job. And I think Coach Breslin brought up a great point too. There was somebody behind this that we don't obviously will never know what really. I mean, did Doug Peterson resign? We don't really even know that.
Kenny, this is Henry Zimenoff's prediction. He's saying if the Eagles didn't switch quarterbacks, they would have come back and defeated Washington to send Kenny's Giants to the playoffs. It's something you're never gonna know, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. Again, we could get into this all night. The Giants should have won their games.
Here's my next question. I got 2 more questions about this situation, and then we'll get into our next topic. My first question for you and the audience is, where does Doug Peterson go from here? Who wants to go first? And then I'll go whenever.
I'll go first. I don't know. I think Coach Breslin's right. If I'm the Jets, I would jump all over him. If I was, I would still go with a defensive coach. I really would. If I'm the Jets, Saleh, Martindale from Baltimore, the D coordinator. But how do you not get Peterson? You want to get a quarterback right. If you are going to keep Darnold or you're going to go with a rookie, I like him. Another spot, though, tell me if you think I'm crazy, and I wish Carson was on with us for this. How could you not see him, though, in Detroit? You give him already. He's got the receivers, okay? He's got Swift as a running back, Kerryon Johnson, whether Adrian Peterson's back. You're giving him a vet in Stafford. Listen, he's got a good offense already. You know what I'm saying? That's not, in my opinion, something like Detroit where they haven't won. And, can he get them to the playoffs? I think Detroit's a great spot for him. Detroit, the Jets, there's mine. Eddie Murphy's also saying I think he takes off the year if he doesn't go to the Jets.
What do you think, Sis? Does he take off or does he get a job somewhere?
Well, I was reading today. Kurt just mentioned Saleh. He's been in the Jets building 2 times already, and he left without a contract. Now the problem with him, the Jets not getting him, the other 5 teams are offering this guy. Peterson, I'll agree with Kurt. Detroit is definitely the best fit for that guy. And truthfully, who else really wants to go coach in Detroit? I mean,
I'm a little different with my prediction, guys, and I like Coach Breslin's prediction, and Eddie, gave us his, and everybody else listening out there. My prediction is one of two. If Eric Bieniemy gets a job and doesn't stay in KC, don't be surprised if Andy Reid brings him back into Kansas City to run the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Or two, go to a team like the Jaguars or the Jets, assuming they hire a first-time head coach, kind of like what the Giants did with Jason Garrett and hiring Freddie Kitchens, hiring former head coaches underneath the head coach, and then maybe taking over that team if that coach fails, a la Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, San Diego Chargers, Justin Herbert sitting there, or even the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor sitting there.
There's
a lot of interesting teams that he can go to.
Oh, yeah. Kenny, here's a question, Coach Breslin.
As a coordinator, as a head coach, I agree with the Lions, but I can also see him possibly going to the Texans.
Okay, that's a good spot. That's a good spot, too. Kenny, Sis.
Deshaun Watson has to say like they say he does.
Okay, Sis, here's a question from Coach Breslin. He says, if he doesn't end up with the Jets, can he convince an owner that he can create a good culture? Culture is bad in Detroit. What do you think about, does this thing that he did on the Sunday night game, does that hurt him when he has to, like Coach is talking about, culture and team, the players believing in him and playing for him? Does this hurt what he did a couple weeks ago?
Well, again, now his character is in question. His character is definitely in question. I mean, whoever takes him, obviously, whether it's Detroit, the Jets, or whoever, they're gonna take a gamble on.
Now there's a lot of offensive coaches that are going to be getting jobs, but Robert Saleh, how's it pronounced? Saleh. That's what I thought. I'm hearing a lot of people call him Salah, and I thought it was
Saleh.
Just wanted to get his name right. Wherever he goes, I think he brings a high offensive coordinator, like an assistant coach type. Doug Peterson could be going where if Robert Saleh gets a job with the Jets, don't be surprised if Peterson gets the offensive coordinator job there.
That's a good point.
But can I play devil's advocate for both of you guys for 1 second? And actually more Kenny, but see, here's the thing. And I know, when you get fired or whatever, then you go back to the assistant. But this guy, hey, Mark Calderio saying, good evening. How is everybody? Thank you, Mark.
What's up, Mark?
Here's the thing, Kenny. This guy's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Those guys really don't go back to assistants. Gary Kubiak did, but Gary Kubiak did it on his term. I didn't want to be a head coach. I don't want that pressure. I can only be a coordinator, which he resigned as the offensive coordinator this year. That's, there's not many coaches who are still coaching that won a Super Bowl. For you now to go back and take an assistant role?
But I'll give you 2 buts. You bring this guy up every week. You think he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread is Trevor Lawrence. If Jacksonville offers him if Jacksonville's head coach is a first-time head coach, Urban Meyer.
It's going to be Urban Meyer, isn't it? I think it's Urban Meyer.
And he doesn't succeed. Doug Peterson's sitting there. He takes over that team. He gets the franchise quarterback. He's got a future with the Jaguars. Or Kansas City, if Bieniemy gets a job, Andy Reid, he might decide to retire in a couple of years, and then Peterson gets to coach Mahomes for 5 or 6 years.
Kenny, I got to cut you off for
like
1 second.
Josh McDaniels is doing in New England, Kurt. You know what I'm saying? That's the points I'm trying to make.
No, I know, Kenny. I got to cut you off because this is from Henry Zimenoff, and when he says this, he's talking about my Broncos. I got to get it in. He said Gary Kubiak was so great with Denver. Wish he didn't retire though. Henry, look on this wall. Gary's on this wall. I would do anything to get Kubiak back as that head coach, man. Anything. That's my guy.
I'm just happy we got our head coach. My last question on the Eagles, very last question. Give me a prediction on who their next head coach will be.
That's hard.
I'll start it off. I was reading up today, and this is a good possibility. I was listening to one of my talk shows that I like, these guys on YouTube, Chat Sports. Tom Downey, a friend of ours, is supposed to be coming on our show one night. His prediction, and it makes all the sense in the world. He's had 2 interviews. Two coaches had 2 interviews there. One is Smith from Tennessee, the offensive coordinator.
Like him.
The other one is Joe Brady.
If
they bring Joe Brady, don't be surprised if Anthony Lynn comes and takes the defensive coordinator.
Okay, but here's the thing, sis, before you comment, and Coach Breslin said, see, this is the only thing that I 1,000% agree with Coach Breslin on this. Bring in a leader, okay? Bring in a leader as the head coach and let the coordinators do their job and oversee both. Too many guys want to call plays and be a head coach. Hard to do in the NFL. That's hard for Joe Brady. You know, if Joe Brady's going to do that, it's your first-time job. You're in Philly. You know, that place is nuts, man. You know, you're going to have so much pressure on you. The media, are you going to be calling plays? That's the only thing. Is Joe Brady going to, do you want Joe Brady as the play caller or do you want Joe Brady as the head coach? There's a big difference. Big difference.
And then Coach Breslin just said, it believes it's official today about Urban Meyer. And that bring up a quick question I have about that. There's a good spot for Doug Peterson now if they don't keep Jay Gruden, because college coach never coached in the NFL. You get a Super Bowl coach with experience to run your offense and give you pointers on coaching in the NFL. My opinion. I think that'd be a great spot for Doug Peterson.
Yep. Right now, they're in advance.
Not rush into another head coaching job.
Here, sis, let me ask you this. Eddie Murphy's making a point, and it's a coaching question. He said, and he's referring to Coach Breslin, and he's saying, I never understood why you hire an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator and not let them call the plays. What's your comment on that, sis?
First of all, who did that?
Well, like we're saying, like here, Vic Fangio in Denver is technically the head coach, right? He's the head coach.
Okay.
But he's not the defensive coordinator. You know, Ed Donatel is the defensive coordinator, but Vic Fangio is calling the defense. So
it's like New England. Belichick's a defensive coordinator.
Belichick's calling that defense. So why do you have
and Daniels is calling the offense?
Right. So but he's saying like Joe Brady, like Kenny's saying. By the way, Vinny's joining us from Viva Las Bills, 7:30 tonight on I-95 Sports Network. Check them out.
Yes,
they're going to be wired up. They'll be
seeing you guys in a little bit. I'll chime in. Greatest Bills show on earth.
Yes, sir. And he's saying if Leslie Frazier leaves the Bills, I think Anthony Lynn will go back to Buffalo. Just speculation, of course. Coach Breslin's also saying why the head coaches do it, control. They want control. Coach Breslin saying Adam Gase was calling the plays. So there you go. They had an offensive coordinator, but Gase is calling the plays. Shermer with the Giants. Eddie Murphy saying, calling the plays. You know, it's like, I don't know. I see, like, and then you hire, like, I think Elway hired, and I'm going to be honest, I love, as a Bronco fan, Vic Fangio running the defense. But the problem is he's the head coach. He has to be involved in the offense. He's like Rex Ryan was. Vic Fangio wants no part of that offense. None. He doesn't. And that's not good. You know, you can't do that as a head coach. You know, he's making decisions, and his answer always is, my defense should have stopped him. My defense should have stopped him. Yeah, but what about your offense? You're the head coach now. It's a different animal.
Broncos GM, I'm calling Doug Peterson and offering him money for the coordinator spot. Because if Fangio fails in the first 4 games, you can have Peterson as your next head
Right,
coach.
but you just made his point, and Sis, I think, is on board with me. If you sign, like, you want Joe Brady, why do you want Joe Brady?
To run your team, not to run your offense.
See, I disagree. But wherever showed you that he could do that, he's never done that. He's never done that. Where's he done that?
Well, you know who it worked with? It worked with Sean McVay and Rams. He brought them right to a Super Bowl.
But
And
Sean
he's the
McVay
young coordinator with the Redskins.
But Sean McVay is basically he's still the offensive coordinator there.
Joe Judge came out of nowhere, and he's our Giants guy now. We're both happy with him. Young guy.
Right, but Joe Judge is doing what we're saying. Joe Judge is you run
He's
the
letting
O,
the
you
guys
run the
coach.
D.
Yeah.
You don't want Joe Brady for that. You really don't. I mean, listen, we could be wrong, but Joe Brady.
No, what I'm saying, I agree with you. You bring in the low-profile coach who doesn't have experience, and you bring in other head
big
coaches.
coordinators.
Anthony Lynn, Bill O'Brien, Doug
Yeah.
Peterson. Our buddy John Bielen's going to be joining us. I'm going to bring him in.
Okay, by the way, Sis, did you see the breaking news, Sis? I don't know if this is official, but what is your reaction to this? Your new offensive coordinator at Alabama is going to be Bill O'Brien from the Houston Texans. What's your thoughts on that?
Disaster.
He doesn't have at least he can't trade anybody. You don't have to worry about that.
Wow, what a shocker that is. You just ruined my night.
I mean, let the guy enjoy his week let him enjoy the
Yeah.
Bambi.
Yeah, you should have held off on that news.
And see, Coach Breslin, Kenny, we're going to get Bielen's in a second, but we're saying, he's saying somebody like Brady, he's very young, and to go to a place like Philly, that would be tough for his job. Bielen, we're talking about Doug Peterson. Where can you see him going? And who do you think, and part 2 question, Philly, who would you hire, or what would you like Philly to do for a head coach?
So I don't think Peterson's going to coach this year. I think everything that happened at the end of the year, I think it's going to coast over. I think you got to wait. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion. I don't know. I mean, there might be I don't know how many teams need coaches still? Like 2 or 3?
Well, John, what I brought up was offensive coordinator for some of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Chiefs, if the enemy gets a job in Jacksonville, are very, very intriguing spots.
But John, don't you think though that this guy is one of, and I know Gary Kubiak again was in a different scenario. He stepped down. He didn't want to be a head coach, but to go from a Super Bowl winning coach to coordinator, I mean, that's that guy's gonna have to go and say, "Oh, I won a Super Bowl, man. Now I'm a coordinator." Again, nothing against. I mean, but that's a step down for him. That's the only thing. Is he gonna do that? Does he need to do that?
Does he need to do that? No. But I think if you love the game of football and you're I think you're willing to take a head coach or offense coordinator position, in my eyes. I mean, listen, some offense coordinators get paid more than head coaches do.
Of course. No, of course. But I'm saying it's really, you don't really see when it's a Super Bowl head coach, though, not getting another head coaching job. That's what I'm saying.
I just really think what happened 2 weeks ago, I think it really got swept under the rug. I don't think it was like a big deal for like a couple of minutes. And then, and then it was just like, whatever. But I think really internally, I think a lot of people really saw what he did, and I really think it's gonna hurt him. I think for this year it's gonna hurt him, and I don't think he's gonna coach anywhere this year. Honestly, I think, in my opinion, I think it's gonna coast over, and next year he'll pop up somewhere. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I mean, the Jets look like they might be getting. Maybe what's his name from San Francisco? Salah. Yeah, so I don't know. Could be.
And that's why I said if you bring Saleh over, he's going to need a big time offensive coordinator because he's a defensive minded coach. So.
Yeah,
That'd be a nice little spot for.
He's been in for 2 interviews. They didn't give him a contract.
I know,
what are
that's
they
shocking, sis. That's
Well,
shocking.
What are they waiting
Well,
on if they're going to hire
Well,
him?
they
See, I don't buy that. I don't think he's going there.
well,
That's
they
just
did
me.
it to 2 other people as well too. So it's not just
Yeah,
him.
the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah, the guy from Tennessee, Arthur Smith, and they also did Joe Brady. So
I would like to see Smith there at the Jets.
I just don't think he has the experience. That's my opinion. You've only heard of him for the past like year or two, and
That's
before that he really wasn't doing anything either way. So I don't know. I mean,
I think
You got to start. You got to
that's my
start
thing with
somewhere.
Joe Brady too. Like my thing with Joe Brady is like he doesn't have any experience, but the thing is like he's dealing. He's like it's a young QB. You know, if they keep Darnold or they draft somebody, you know, he's young. You know, he can adapt to that. You know, and
Kurt, I know we want to get into picks, but my prediction, John, is going to be Brady goes to either Philly or the Jets, and then you bring your other head coaches that coached. You could bring in Anthony Lynn over to run the defense. You can bring not a Joe Brady. You can bring a Doug Peterson to run the offense, like the Giants did with Jason Garrett. And if Joe Brady fails, then Peterson's waiting to take over.
I wouldn't mind having Peterson. Like I really don't want him, but I wouldn't mind if he was my offensive coordinator. I wouldn't want him as my head coach, but I think
See, now, you know what? And again, we'll get into everything. By the way, Henry Zimenoff is saying Denver hired George Patton as their new GM. What good can he do for that team? We'll get into that later because I'm a.
Murphy's saying the Eagles requested to talk to the Cowgirls offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, today.
See, sis, here's my only thing. Like, I go back and I honestly, I don't know. I believe this. Like, the Steelers are that, you know, and you look at all kinds of sports. The Steelers are that hard-nosed football, tough mentality. When they win, that's what they are. Chuck Noll, that's what Tomlin was. What they did Sunday night, and people were talking about it, why the hell they went back to we're going to throw it 60 times. Stupid. You know, the Jets, when the Jets are good, have a defensive coach. They're physical. That's why the Jets, like, they shouldn't do Joe Brady. Like, that's not what the Jets are in that division. They should do Martindale from Baltimore. Bring that physicality, bring that mentality, and now go get yourself an offensive coordinator with experience. Or if you want to do a young guy like Joe Brady, might not go to coordinator position, but get that coordinator, but let Martindale run that defense and become that defensive team. You're not going to go in there. Everyone keeps saying they have no weapons. How the hell are they going to go in? Joe Brady's going to be throwing the ball 50 times. They're going to get destroyed.
I love Joe Brady.
That's what Todd Bowles did at the Jets. Exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I love what Joe Brady in Carolina. It's unfortunate Christian McCaffrey was hurt half of the year, you know, but he's got, you know, if they can draft a quarterback, you know, I mean, I like Teddy Bridgewater, but if they can draft a quarterback high up, man, you got to watch out for them too.
No, you do, but I'm saying, remember, it's different. It's a different mentality, though, John, as the offensive coordinator. All you're worried about is the offense. You know, the team mentality. See, I just think the Jets should get Saleh. Like Sis is saying, I don't know. Everyone's saying Sis is 1,000% right. How's that guy walking out the building? You got him. You're there. Sign him. Like he's the best guy there. You saw it. You saw it last year. He ate up Green Bay's defense. He ate up Minnesota. He ate up Stefanski in a playoff game.
Yeah, but you got to
You
remember.
don't know what goes on in the interview rooms. He might not interview well if he hasn't gotten a job yet.
It's also, yeah, he's doing all that, and he did that with San Francisco. That's San Francisco's defense, not the Jets' defense.
It's true. It's a great point.
So,
True.
You know, you don't have a Bosa, you don't have a Richard Sherman, you don't have a Alexander in that linebacker position. So it's a little bit different to me, like when it's that, because you got some talent. I mean, the Jets could get some talent. You know, they're going to have a lot of money and everything like that too. But you know, it's just. I don't know. It's different. I mean,
answer this real quick. We'll go around the room. I'll go Kenny, Sis, and Bielen. That's how it's on my board. But I truly believe, because Coach Breslin's saying Joe Brady should go to a place that does not have the pressure to win as much as, you know, meaning Philly and the Jets. And I agree. See, this New York media is nuts. You know, they're going to eat you up. But you know what? Look at the last couple years. Everybody, all over Fizdale, and I'm talking another sport, but the Knicks. But Kenny, do you see that now with Thibodeau? No, because listen, he's going to shut the media up, shut up, we're doing this, we're doing that. Joe Brady is going to be all over the board. He's too young. They need a guy that's going to come in an adult that's going to set stuff straight, like a Parcells.
I still think I respectfully disagree, and I usually agree 100% with Coach Breslin, but I respectfully disagree a little bit. I think Joe Brady, if you bring the experienced coaches with him, is not going to have the pressure with the Jets, because the Jets just got rid of the worst coach in Jets history. So he could win 3 games next year, and he'll be the greatest coach in history for the Jets, because he's the coach that's taking over.
I disagree. No way.
Taking over after Adam Gase.
Yeah,
John.
but listen, if he's 3-13, the media is going to want to run him the hell out.
I can coach the Jets, and I'll be a hero. Because I'm the coach taking over after Adam Gase.
I don't know about that.
On that note, the Eagles should bring in Coach Breslin and take me and Kurt with them.
There you go. There you go, sis. What do you want to do, Ken? You want to start breaking these games down?
Yeah, we'll start breaking the games down. We'll see how we're doing on time after that.
All right, so let's start off. We're going to start off at, I believe it is 4:35 on Thursday. Again, we want to thank Jim Haig. Yesterday, he did a great job. He's a big Ram fan.
Absolutely.
His Rams are going into Lambeau Field. And I don't know. Breslin, I'm going to call it. Bielen, you're going to start us off. I think it's a 6.5-point spread. The Rams are 6.5 points in Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers, best defense in football for the Rams. What do you got?
I'm going upset city, man. I'm taking the Rams. I think out of all the defenses in the NFC, I really think you heard me all year with them. I really think if you look at Jalen Ramsey, what he did all year to number 1 receivers, he legitimately was having almost a Darrelle Revis Island year. He gave up 1 touchdown all year, and that was to Stephon Diggs, and he only caught 1 pass for 4 yards for 1 touchdown. So, and you see how Ramsey is, man. Ramsey can get in your grill, talk so much smack to you. Man, it's going to be, and if Aaron Donald can get up that middle, especially with their guards out with COVID. Get ready,
guys. Couple comments real quick. Bielen's going bold. But, I don't think that's really that bold. But let's go. Bobby, he says, Bobby Blackjack saying, are we finally done talking about Alabama?
yeah, Bobby.
Don't be a hater, Bobby.
Up the kiss of death, Bill O'Brien's name, and that stopped it.
Yeah,
hey, I heard Adam Gase.
Well, I think
Bobby,
they said
Bobby needs to come on for 5 minutes, so I got something to tell him about the Nets.
Bobby was talking smack before the game. Bobby was talking smack.
Here's a quick question, sis. Who would you rather have, O'Brien or Gase?
Oh.
I'd rather have you. And that's not a knock. Those two. Oh my! Bill O'Brien, are you kidding me? He tanked at Penn State. He tanked in the pros.
Penn State.
He's terrible.
I think Sis secretly knew. I think Sis
Sis got the Penn State hat on tonight.
Wearing the Penn State hat.
He's gonna. You know what he's gonna be? He's gonna be a puppet, and Saban will call both the offense and the defense. That's he's gonna be a skeleton in the closet. Get out of here with that guy. Stinks.
Coach Breslin saying Rams D was lights out last week. If the weather is not too bad, I agree with Bielen. Sis, what do you got? Rams, Green Bay.
You're not beating Mr. Rogers at home. That's all I got to say.
Kenny,
it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking the points. I'm going to jump ahead of you, Kurt. Rogers gets one of those fourth quarter game-winning drives. I'll give you a prediction score. Packers 27-24. Very close game. Packers escape a huge scare and get to the championship.
I'm putting our faces up with picks. I'm not even going spread. We'll talk spread, but I'm going with who we're picking to win. Eddie's going Rams. Coach Breslin saying 3 tight end offense, sis. That's what we're gonna run at. That's what Alabama's gonna run, I guess, is what he's saying.
Attaboy, Coach Breslin.
You see, Coach Bielen, you know what? This game here is like my worst nightmare with a pick, because what have I said all along? What wins?
Running.
Defense and running.
Running and defense. They're the number 1 defense in football, or whatever, top 2, 3 defense in football. And they run the rock. But there's one thing that
A quarterback.
a stud quarterback.
Future Hall of Famer.
Okay? And I'm going to be honest. I'm this close. Listen, I will not say the words, this is a woodshed. If this game was New Orleans, if this game was New Orleans, Green Bay blows him out. If it was Tampa, Green Bay blows him out. I'm not going to come with, I would take the Rams and the points, but in Green Bay, Bielen, I agree with Kenny. The Rams are right there. The Rams will play them tight, but I can't do this. You know what I can't do, sis? When somebody turns around and says, in the fourth quarter, do you want Aaron Rodgers or do you want Jared Goff?
Exactly.
I can't do that.
Now, let me ask. Here's my question, Bielen, for Kurt.
No way.
If the Rams pull off the upset, no matter what the score is, it could be 7-6. Does Jared Goff get your respect?
Say that again?
If the Rams go into Green Bay, because the Rams went into Seattle and took care of Seattle, put up 30 points. If they go into Green Bay and put up some points and beat Green Bay, no matter what the score is, does Jared Goff get your respect next week?
I mean, not if they win 6-3 and he has 90,
Okay.
No.
Fair enough. But if he puts up decent numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I don't care about numbers. I want to see third down.
No, if he gets the win, if he gets the win, Kurt,
right.
2 touchdowns, or he doesn't even need touchdowns like you said numbers, but they get the win and they get, Cam Akers is running all over them.
Yeah.
Still got to give Jared Goff some respect.
Yeah. But again, Jim Hague said it the best. You're not going in there in a shootout. You're not going to beat out. You better hope you're not doing that with Jared Goff. You're not shooting out Aaron Rodgers. So you better hope it's a low-scoring game. But again, that's what playoffs are.
It might not be a low-scoring game. Cam Akers may run for Derrick Henry yardage Saturday.
By the way, sis, we got breaking news. Bobby Blackjack saying, I'm signing Eddie to head my Knights table, Rutgers and Big Ten talk show. So there you go, sis.
There you go. You can have him and Carson
Thank
on the table.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Coach Breslin has given us the weather for Sunday. 30 degrees on Sunday, 35 on Saturday with snow showers. That's what I'm a little afraid of, Bielen.
Coach Breslin's a meteorologist.
I'm afraid I'm
actually not, because you know why? That means they're going to run the ball.
Yeah. Good luck. Green Bay's going to...
Kurt, you got to come during this process tonight. You got to come aboard one game. One game, you got to come aboard.
Okay, I'll come. It's all right. So right now, I'm gonna be. Here's one thing. I will work this with you, Bielen. I will come aboard one game. Right now, my official pick is Green Bay, but after the 4, because I don't know who you're picking, so I got to find out.
I know where you'll come aboard, though.
Okay.
I know where you'll come aboard.
All right. So that's I will go aboard with you on one tonight. All right, so then we go into the night game, and this is where our boys, Mr. Will and Mr. Vinny, are going to be fired up. They're probably wired up right now, and I don't blame them because, hey, you're what? You're 2 games away, man. So at night, I believe it's 8:05. The Baltimore Ravens going into Buffalo. Now, I believe there's snow. Right? I believe it's going to be snow on Saturday night there.
It might snow, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's start with Kenny on this one.
Toughest game on the board, boys. I'm reluctantly going to pick this game. What's the spread, by the way?
I'll get the official spread. I want to say it's like 2 points.
Yeah, it can't be more than 3, I was thinking.
The official spread is 2.5.
You know what that means, though.
Yeah, take the 3 points.
It's very undecisive.
It's like a pick.
I've been riding high. I've been a bandwagon with the Viva Los Bills. Been going on their show. Been rooting for the Bills. I'm gonna go Buffalo. If the weather is bad, then that takes away Mark Andrews. That's gonna take away some of the threats that he has throwing the ball. So I'm gonna take Buffalo at home in the snow. 2017.
Okay. Eddie Murphy's just saying, by the way, Eddie Murphy's picking Buffalo, and he's saying, just announced by Bleacher Report, Jaguars signed Meyer. So, not sure if that's official, but he's saying it is. Buffalo, the weather, 35 degrees and snow showers. Mr. Sis, where are you going on this one?
I think last week I made the same prediction. It'll be Buffalo and Green Bay in the Super Bowl. So you know who I'm taking on Saturday.
Okay. Mr. Bielen.
Oh man, what'd I do with him? I don't know. I might have threw him away.
Yes. Hold on.
Baby.
Bielen, real fast. I'm sorry. Henry has just said also Jacksonville has hired Urban Meyer as their head coach. So it's official.
One trick pony.
For those who don't
I'm not even giving a score because it doesn't even really matter. Coming out of the gate. He's coming out of the gate.
Okay.
Run, right? Run.
Number 8. Out of the 8 slot. Let's go. I'm going to be that guy with that piece of paper like the old man. How do they do it with the hat? That's what I'm going to be doing all Saturday night. Let's go.
By the way, Bryce also said it's official. ESPN announced that Urban Meyer has gone to Jacksonville. Now,
thanks for
let's just say this, guys. Well, he should take one of the guys that went to his Ohio State, right? No, he ain't taking Justin Fields. He knows where he's taking. He's taking Mr. Lawrence. He's going Mr. Lawrence. You know what, Bielen? I'm going to say this. Again, what do I always say, Bielen? What wins in the playoffs?
Running.
Okay, and?
Defense.
Baltimore's got the both, right? See, you guys think I hate on Baltimore. I don't. I've said this and you could ask Briggs and you could watch video of from 2012, because it happened to us in 2012, but in 2013, 2014, and 2015. You know what I said? I was never afraid of New England. I was never afraid of Kansas City. I was always afraid of Baltimore. Why? They got swagger. They play defense. They're going to come at you. They're going to run at you. But sis, what am I a big-time person of? When the game is played, what is it?
Home field advantage.
Home field advantage. That, to me, in a playoff, I know it's not regular home field. I know. And I'm gonna say that again.
It's home field. It gets cold and windy.
Okay, it gets cold. But again, see, Baltimore. But here's the thing: Baltimore, it doesn't affect Baltimore. They run the ball. They're not going to throw it 89 times. They're not. But here's the thing. I think Bielen, I could go with this one again. I'm going to switch back, but on a prime time
pony.
And I just think Josh Allen has that it factor. I think now the game plan, I'm going to say this. The game plan, and Will and Vinny said this last night. The matchup is not great for Buffalo because somebody said it. I don't know if it was Bielen. Their run defense is not great, Buffalo. And I'm going to tell you this. Baltimore's going to try to run right down their throats. So,
Kurt, I got to interrupt you for 1 second.
Okay.
Either you're messing around with Bielen or you don't know your logos because you got Bielen picking the Bills.
Oh, sorry about that. I do. Sorry.
You either messing with Bielen or you...
No, sorry about that. Henry's saying, I think the NFC Championship game, it'll be Saints versus Packers, Bills versus Chiefs. Breslin's saying Dobbins and Edwards and Jackson running the ball, they slow the game down.
Remember that name, Dobbins.
Kenny, I gotta go with my Bills guys. You know what? I was such a believer. Pay the guy the money, man. Pay him the money. Josh Allen's gonna deserve it. It's gonna be it's gonna be close. I think Bielen thinks I'm just a hater on, Baltimore.
See, I picked the Bills. I got to go with the Bills because I got them going to the Super Bowl as well. But this is really scary game.
It's a very scary game.
Because I said the Titans-Ravens are going to make a deep run in the playoffs, whoever that winner of that game was. Assuming the Steelers were going to beat the Browns, I thought, looking ahead, Titans or Ravens were going to beat the Steelers. And then they were going to go beat the Chiefs and be in the championship game. I didn't think the Browns were going to go into Pittsburgh and do what they did. And now they're playing Buffalo. So now I can't go against my Super Bowl prediction. So it's a very reluctant pick for me, but I would not be surprised if the Ravens do win this game.
Okay. You know what? I'm sticking to my guns. I'm going Josh Allen. I'm going Buffalo. All right. So now we get to Sunday, 3:05. Our guy Jim will be pacing around like a cat until 3 o'clock. The underdog Cleveland Browns going into Arrowhead. Sis, start this off. Cleveland, Kansas City, do they have any shot in this game?
What's the line on that game?
10 points.
10 points. Go ahead, sis.
I like the Browns with the points. I don't think Kansas City's the same team this year, really. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Can they win, sis?
Can Cleveland win outright?
Yes.
With that running game?
Yes.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
All right. What do you want to do right now? Right now? Official pick. Where do you want to go?
Cleveland Browns, but with the points.
Bielen.
I'm gonna go Chiefs with the points.
You're gonna lay it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go your first overtime game of the playoffs. Chiefs escape a huge scare and a big second half comeback because I do believe that time off they're gonna get off to a slow start. The Browns are gonna start off right where they left off with Pittsburgh. And they're gonna jump out to a 14-0 lead, and everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh. And then Mahomes is gonna be throwing that ball in the second half. Overtime, 27-24. Harrison Butker wins in overtime with a field goal.
Okay, Eddie Murphy saying Browns with the upset. Listen, my opinion, you know what? I'm kind of with both of you. Sis, the Raiders caused major problems for this team this year, right?
Correct.
Aren't the Raiders kind of like Cleveland? Cleveland's physical, man. They run the ball. They got Hunt. They got Chubb. All right. Baker makes some plays. I don't know if they can win in Arrowhead. So I'm going to go with Bielen with the Chiefs winning, but I'm going to go with you two guys and take the points in a close game. I think
Chubbs is a beast.
He is.
Chubbs is a beast.
He is.
I think the Browns win this game if Mahomes is a complete disaster, like Roethlisberger was.
I think Kansas City's going to have problems, though, defensively stopping the running game now.
These guys are going to come out a little. They had 3 weeks off. It's a long time.
Yep. And then game of the week. It's a great game. Two of the best quarterbacks, Brady, Breeze. First time they're ever playing in a playoff game, which is probably mind-boggling. No, you hear those guys every week now. It's who broke the record for yards, who broke the record for touchdowns. So it's 6:40 Sunday night, which is nice because we have no school on Monday, so we get the nice day off afterwards. But I'm going to start with Kenny on this one. New Orleans or Tampa Bay?
I think my Super Bowl prediction early in the year was these guys right here. Well, Vikings was my early prediction, but I said don't be surprised if Brady gets there. And we had the debate. It's Belichick. No, it's Brady. Some of us had Belichick. Some of us had Brady. Brady's going to come through. Not going to lose to the Saints 3 times in 1 year. Give me the Buccaneers in a very high-scoring game, 35-31, and Brady goes to Lambeau to try and bring the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl.
Sis, agree or disagree with him?
Go and get a loan. Just bet the over in that game.
But give me a winner.
Tampa Bay.
Woo. Bielen.
Yeah,
You
we know
too,
what
huh?
The GOAT.
See,
All the way, baby.
Until proven wrong.
Absolutely.
And you've said this multiple times. Drew Brees chokes.
Thank you.
Drew Brees does choke, but you know what this reminds me of? Honestly, and I was me and Hoops were talking like last week. We're watching a game. I said, you know what? This is 2015 with the Broncos, where you got a great Hall of Fame quarterback, and you know what? It's one more ride, baby. He's been injured. He came back just like Manning. It's his team now. He doesn't have to do much. Defense, go win the game. Give the ball to Kamara. Throw it to Kamara in the flat. They're at home. Bielen, of course, I agree with you. It makes me a little nervous with the choke jobs the past couple years. But Sean Payton's better than Bruce Arians. They're better defensively. You know, you're going to have a little noise in that building.
Who's better defensively?
Hey, Kurt,
I think the Saints are better.
Better late than never. Better late than never. We got our buddy Carson joining us.
Okay. What's up, Carson? How are you?
What's up, fellas? How are you doing?
All right.
Carson, good evening.
So
How you doing?
I'm gonna be solo, I guess, until we get Carson's pick. But I am taking the New Orleans Saints to win this game outright. And,
Of course you
and
are.
I'm calling
Of
it
course
now to win the Super Bowl. They're gonna be your Super Bowl champs.
Wow, what a prediction that is.
Carson, what do you got? Bobby Blackjack, by the way, saying Brees chokes like Elway picking young quarterbacks. So,
You talking about Rams Saints?
yeah.
Rams, Saints. Then we'll
Buccaneers,
get your other
Saints.
predictions.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, we all kind of picked the Seahawks to beat the Rams last week, and you saw what happened with that. They kind of surprised people. So I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Drew Brees a fight, but I'm going to go with the former Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to go with Drew Brees. I hope he gets to the title. So
I
I'm
think,
gonna
you
go
know
with
what,
the Saints
Carson?
here.
I just said, I think it's going to be another, like, I just feel like it's like that Denver 2015 team where Manning was out 6 games. Breeze was out 6 games. He came back. He doesn't have to be like, throw it 40 times anymore. He's got a defense. He's got a run game.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem with them. Can they go win in Lambeau? That's
On a quick
them.
side note, I don't know if you guys heard, the Lions got a new GM today, Brad Holmes, and he was the former scout for the Los Angeles Rams. And I found like a stat. He like drafted like something crazy, like 20 Pro Bowlers. So I'm excited about his future with us. So I'm happy that Bob Quinn's out and give this new guy a shot.
Awesome. And
Good
what
luck.
about the other games? We got we got Rams Packers. So what do you like in the Rams Packers? Carson.
Oh, Rams Packers
It's Rams Packers and then Bucks Saints.
Oh yeah.
it's
Bucs
okay.
Saints.
It was Bucks Saints this weekend. Okay, I was confused. Okay, yeah. Wow. Boy, yeah, you gotta go with Aaron Rodgers. My dream Super Bowl matchup would be either Green Bay and Kansas City or New Orleans and Kansas City. That's what I would love to see. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers here.
Okay, how about Buffalo and Baltimore?
Oh man,
Great games this weekend. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Yeah, I win with the Titans. I was thinking they were going to be.
Bielen wants you to go with him,
Buffalo.
Carson. He wants you to go with Baltimore. Look, he's trying to get people to go with him.
He's got the one-trick pony over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Why not? I know Josh Allen's a stud, and he proved himself against the Titans last week. But I don't know, man. Lamar Jackson, I think he has a big game, and I think they move on to the next round.
And then the last one is Kansas City and Cleveland.
The Browns is over. They had a great run, but Patrick Mahomes, he's moving on. There's not much to say there.
Yeah, can me and Bielen make a wager? I just thought of one. Will you guys three be the witnesses on this?
Yeah.
Okay. What has he been saying about Lamar Jackson?
One trick pony.
One trick pony, right? Now, how far does he have to go to be elite?
To you, he's got to win.
Okay, we'll get to the Super Bowl, Kenny.
He's got to win 5 Super Bowls in a row.
No, but realistically,
Like LeBron James, he wins 10
okay.
Super.
Will you
10
put
championships.
will
He's
you
still not
put
much
will you
forward.
put all your eggs in the basket with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to win the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I really
Then
like
here's
him
the
this year.
wager. It's a fun wager. No money involved, no food. Here's what it is. If the Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl, I will come on a Wednesday and a Thursday show in a full like pony animal outfit, wearing the hat and everything. But if they don't, Bielen has to do it for a whole show.
Okay.
Okay? Fun. All right, so Ravens have to win the
That's
whole
a win-win
Super Bowl.
situation right
This
there.
What do you think?
Bielen, you better go get the costume for him. It ain't gonna be no ordinary pony. It's
I
gonna
have
be
to
like
get a kid size. I have
But
to
the
look for it.
Ravens have to win the Super Bowl for me to do it.
Okay.
If the
All right,
Ravens
I'm
get
rooting for the
knocked out,
Ravens now. Sorry, Viva Los Bills. I'm rooting for the
And
Ravens.
if they go to the Super Bowl, I'll wear it during the Super Bowl.
Okay, deal. We're deal. A couple questions. Real quick, let's go. Let's get Sis's this one. What's it going to take for New Orleans? Two-part question. Question one: what's it going to take for New Orleans to win the Super Bowl this year, Sis?
Drew Brees, first of all, not getting hurt. They got a good defense. I agree with that. They have home field advantage, which is huge. But I don't see them going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, and part two, Bielen, if Drew Brees retires, he's saying when the Saints lose, who will take over as quarterback? Will it be Taysom Hill?
No.
Kenny, Carson. Will it?
That's a tough one.
Let me ask you this: will it be
You know,
Hill or Jameis Winston? Both one of those guys on the roster.
Jameis Winston was a good quarterback when he was with Tampa Bay. He wasn't bad, and I feel like I feel like they should definitely give him more of a shot because I think Taysom Hill's kind of their go-to guy when Breeze was out and he kind of stepped in and he did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Jameis should get a more fair, like he's the real quarterback. I mean, Taysom Hill isn't a quarterback. He can play quarterback, but
Right.
Jameis is a quarterback. Taysom Hill is a position player. So I would give the nod more to Jameis than I would to Taysom.
Kenny, what about you?
I think Taysom's more talented, like all around. But in terms of quarterback, it's Jameis.
I'm going the exact words Carson just said. Give Winston a shot. He's got the weapons there. Kamara, Thomas. I give him a shot over the gimmick guy in Taysom Hill.
Yeah, and
I give Winston a shot.
Carson
And
nailed
Winston's
it.
on the cheap. Winston's on the cheap end. So give him a shot.
Yeah, see, Carson nailed it. It's the same thing. Like I think they realized, I think Peyton looked at it, Kenny, and he said, okay, it worked for the 1 week, the 2 weeks, but then defenses catch up with the gimmick, and it's like, Philly's defense, who's been bad all year, they completely shut them down, and then it's the same thing, and it's where I argue all week about, who's really a legit quarterback or a gimmick guy. Like those defensive coordinators are going to catch up to that, and hey, like you said, put him in on the goal line. Listen, he's hard to stop when it's 1st and goal from the 2. I mean, the guy's a monster, but you ain't running that when you're on your 15-yard line. You ain't gonna run 80 plays getting 2 yards a time to, it's not gonna work. So,
Right.
I got a question for everybody. We were going to do this with the audience, but we're going to start it on next Wednesday with the audience. But I'll get your 4 votes, and I'll be another vote. We're going to do a poll. Our good friend Rob Neely from Smoky Beard makes all these rubs and seasonings. Kurt, I don't know, Bielen, you got the rubs nearby?
I could. Yep.
And he does all these homemade rubs, all these homemade spices. Good friend of ours. He's a chef. Came up with a good idea. The Wednesday before the Super Bowl, he's going to come on the show and he's going to cook some appetizers.
live. He's going to be on
All
live. We're going to be
appetizers.
cutting in and out with him.
And what does he want from us? He wants a poll of 2 appetizers that we would want at a Super Bowl party.
Right. So, yeah, right. So appetizers you guys like, and he's going to make them. He's going to be on live that Wednesday night. We're going to cut it, go like every 15, 20 minutes, check in with him while he's cooking them. And then he's going to cook them up for us for Super Bowl.
I'll start. I'll be simple. I want to see him make a homemade pizza.
Okay.
We'll do pizza. But will be my vote. And again, it's going to be the top 2 votes up until Wednesday of the week of the Super Bowl.
Right. Okay. So Kenny,
my second one is going to be like a 5-layer dip.
Yeah.
Okay. Bielen, what do you got? Give us 2 things that either you like or you
I'm
want.
writing them down. We'll have the poll up next week. We'll start the poll up next week.
I'm gonna go with I like something a little unique, and I love doing this, but maybe like a pulled pork combo. So you can either make maybe like a little sandwich, or make a wrap, or like a pulled pork combo.
Remember, this is a poll. So what would you want to see that you think is going to get there?
He can do it. He can do it any way he wants to, but call it like pulled pork combo. It can be like any way he wants to
If
spin
anybody
it.
votes for pulled pork or anything, it'll be on.
By the way, Bobby's saying, do we need help with the camera setup? Hey, that's up to Neely, because Neely's going to be from home. We're going to be zooming in with him, so we'll get in touch with Neely and see how that's going to work. But that's going to be pretty cool to zoom in and stuff
what would
like
be
that.
a second, Bielen?
Yeah, give us a second one.
I would love. I don't know if he could do it inside of his house, but I would love to see him do some type of ribs.
Hey, he never said John inside or outside, so.
True. If
Carson, what do you like at Super Bowl
he can
parties?
smoke
Your favorite?
Smoke some ribs or something.
Okay.
See this guy make.
Yeah, you need it on the head. Chips and dip is always that's a must. Every game day, chips and dips. My mom, she makes this really good it's cream cheese, chili, and cheddar cheese dip, and it's really good with just like corn chips. And you gotta go with mozzarella sticks is always great, and then maybe some nachos too.
Okay.
Go ahead, sis.
So right now, just between us, the 5-layer, his version of a 5-layer dip would be number 1 right now. But it's just us voting. Our audience, the next couple weeks.
Wait, we didn't get sisses. We didn't get mine or sisses.
I know, that's right.
Sis
is going Italian. I know that.
Nah, not really.
What do you got, sis?
We're gonna go with spinach dip with rye bread.
Ooh.
And clams casino.
What is clams?
Does anybody on this panel know what clams casino is?
I kind of know what it is.
Is it a sort of stuffed clam?
Baked clam, but there's something that goes on the top of it that makes it.
I don't know what goes on top of it.
It's like
Bacon.
a
Breadcrumb?
No.
bread-
Hold on. I just saw it
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago.
And bacon.
Oh,
That's
Well, Kurt, I think it's safe to say, unless people want to know what Clams Casino is, that's not going to be the top vote getter.
I'm gonna take a picture of this and just send
Kurt's
it.
going to pick. Kurt, you should pick Rocky Mountain oysters. You don't have to eat them, but you can see them make them.
Hell no. Listen, I don't eat anything, man. Seriously, what do you think I eat as an appetizer?
What if we do that? We get Neely to make the Rocky Mountain oysters, and then he delivers them to Kurt's house that night.
I'll give them to the security guards. I'm not eating that stuff. You crazy?
You lost the bet.
How I lost the bet?
Ohio State beat Clemson.
No, it was don't get me started. Alabama was the
I
wash.
know.
Don't get me fired up. Nobody.
I'm gonna change my clam casino.
Okay, what
Can
do you
I
want?
Do that? I want chestnuts wrapped in bacon, baked in the grill.
Where are you going for a Super Bowl party? Vermont?
All right. Can I listen? I don't eat any appetizers, so I'm just gonna go basic. I'm gonna go basic to help out the audience. What's one of the
Bread and water.
What?
Bread and water?
No, not. What's one of the appetizers? Come on.
Chicken wings?
Chicken wings. I'm gonna put wings.
There you go.
And then put your favorite down. You should not even miss this one.
macaroni and cheese.
No.
He don't touch
He
that.
knows.
He's
He
the
knows.
biggest eater in the world,
Give me a
Carson,
hint.
by the
He
way.
knows.
Give me a hint.
Seltzer and chips.
Oh yeah, but he's not. But I could do that myself.
That's how good I know.
No,
these
that's
guys.
good. Yeah, Carson. If you don't know, I'm the worst eater in maybe America.
I'm gonna make some kind of sliders, Kurt. How about
In New
sliders?
Jersey, Carson.
You know
in New
what?
Jersey's the worst.
How can I do something? Can I do something with this? Because I'll tell you what I am. I'm a big pretzel guy. Can I have him do something with like, pretzel
Pigs
bites?
and blanket.
Make a dip for the pretzel. It's a dip for the pretzels.
But I don't like the dip.
Yeah, but you're not eating it. He's cooking it from home.
All right, so how about pretzels and a dip?
Yeah.
Pretzel bites and a dip. Good.
Carson, I was over his house a while back. His wife made the best steak and pepper dinner.
Oh, nice.
My God.
There you go.
He wanted no part of it.
No.
She had to make him plain steaks.
Listen, if Hoops ever wants to cook that again, I'll be over in a second.
Yo, bro, let
Real
me
quick,
tell
since
Just
we're
like
busting
it,
on
Bielen.
Kurt. Real quick, since we're busting on Kurt,
cooked.
I want to know how everybody likes their steak, and then I got a quick 1-minute story to tell you about Kurt's bachelor party down in Atlantic City about steak.
Go ahead.
How's everybody like their steak?
Medium rare.
Medium well for me. Carson?
Just medium.
Sis?
Medium well.
Kurt, tell everybody how you like your steak.
Just hockey puck, like
Burned.
extra well done.
We go to this
Extra.
fancy. Here's the 1-minute story, you guys. Kurt's bachelor party. He wants to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse for dinner.
Oh,
Fancy steakhouse.
stomach hurts.
Everybody's ordering. I ordered surf and turf. How would you like your steak cooked, sir? I'd like a medium well, like a medium rare to medium well. Everybody's saying medium well. Kurt, well done, burnt. The waitress looked at him and like, you know what the chef probably said in the back? You're probably getting cursed at those chefs over there. Who's this guy that wants a hockey puck? I'll give him a hockey puck.
Oh, I love it. But I'll tell you this though, sis, and we took Kenny.
Anything a pink, he would send it right back.
Oh, absolutely. Any pink, it's going back. Carson, you come down to Jersey, we're taking you, Bielen, we're all going out. We're going to Steve's Sizzling Steaks.
Oh,
right,
hell
We're going
yeah.
to Steve's
Hell
Sizzling
yeah.
Steaks.
They took me
Right
there,
here.
Carson. It's good.
I'll tell you this:
Right here.
the first time we brought Jen Carson, they have what's it called, sis? The salt. What's that called? Bielen.
It's like soy sauce, like Maggie sauce.
Yeah, like Maggie sauce.
Oh, Maggie.
So-
It's a Maggie sauce.
The Maggie sauce. So I didn't tell Jen when I ordered it. I said, "Can you put the Maggie on the side?" So Jen gets it regular with the Maggie sauce in it. The next day, she's like, "My ring won't fit on my hand." It's just insane. You just blow up from the salt. It's nuts. But we got to go there, Carson. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
I
down.
love that place, Bielen. You a fan of that place?
Yeah, I'm go there probably once a month. It's literally around the corner.
Yeah, I love
There's
it.
soup.
We should
Their
try
onion
it.
soup with the cheese is unbelievable.
And we'll go
That's
right to
soup.
the Meadowlands. We could play the horses and we can play
And
FanDuel.
FanDuel, right there's a night. There you go.
There you go, man. Let's book
Mr.
it.
Kirkpatrick, you got 15 minutes. What do you got before the Bills come on?
Well, I got to show Carson his masks. First of all, he's going to be getting mailed out to him.
Yeah, I saw. Thanks again, man. Those are sweet.
Lions on camera.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, this girl at work does an amazing job. Tigers,
Yeah.
it's the same.
Where's the
There you
Braves
go.
one?
And then your Detroit Pistons.
Whoa,
Nice.
Kenny, did you
There
hear
you
what
go.
Bielen said?
Where's
What
my
happened?
Braves
Say.
one?
What's that?
Where's my Braves one?
Where's my Alabama one?
He didn't give you your Braves one?
No.
I never
All right,
got
I got to get one made for you.
I
thought
never
the
got a
Braves-
Kenny, don't even dare put me on. Never got a Braves
Oh,
mask.
who'd you give the Braves one to?
You gave the Braves mask to the Punisher because you were afraid of him.
Punisher. Let's get into James Harden since we got a few minutes.
Okay.
Sis, Bielen, and Carson weren't on yesterday. We talked about James Harden for a few minutes yesterday.
Yep.
Who wants to start, with this?
Wait, Bobby's saying I'm trying to try. Oh, dying to try. Bobby never went to Steve's. We got to
What?
take Bobby with us.
What?
That's
Wow.
if Bobby, you go
Wait,
go
Bobby
now.
Blackjack want to come on for this Harden because he's a Nets fan. Does he want to come on real
Tell
quick?
Bobby to hit me up on Facebook. We'll go next week.
Oh my God, I'll go. I love that
Sis,
place.
come on, let's
Tell,
go.
tell Bobby Blackjack to come on for 5 minutes. I got something
Bobby,
for him.
if you're on, we're only staying on for until the Bills come on. Bobby's getting ready to do. He does the produces the Bills
Yeah,
show.
he's
So
the producer of the Bills show.
I don't know if he's going to be able to come on, but if he comes on, but
All right, well, my thing real quick with he's happy. He's ecstatic, guys. James Harden got traded to the Nets. Now they got a three-headed monster. My thing is, do they have too much star power? I think so. There's only one ball that can go around for three guys now. You got Kyrie Irving, who doesn't even want to play. You got to hope Durant stays healthy all year. And then you got James Harden, who doesn't play defense. So you're going to need to score 120 to compete. Now, Bobby's thing was, and I know Bobby can't come on, but he's listening.
he said he can't come on. He's eating dinner, thinking about.
We'll give you a chance to defend yourself, Bobby, but you made a comment yesterday. Brooklyn's JV beat the Knicks varsity yesterday. Well, you know what? I would take those 8 guys on Brooklyn that beat the Knicks because they played hard over your 3 superstars that are going to come in and only play when they want, and they're going to ruin the team. Mark my words, they're going to ruin that team. Bielen, what are your thoughts on it?
I just think Kyrie's a diva. James Harden's now officially a diva after him just plainly going out on a little interview or whatever. They have no depth.
Yep.
None. Zero.
One injury.
You're gonna have Kyrie, KD, and Harden shooting 90 times a game. Literally, that's what you're gonna do. I don't see it how it's gonna work.
It's going to burn out. I agree. What are your thoughts, Carson?
Yeah, it's finals or bust. If they don't make the finals this year, it's a big disappointment. But you saw what happened in Houston. You know, they gave Russell Westbrook a shot. He wanted to go and try to win on a team. They sent him to Houston. A couple of years, didn't work. Demanded a trade, and now James kind of wanted the same situation. And now he's going to shoot for contending with the Nets with KD, and maybe, you know, who knows when Kyrie's going to come back. But like you guys were kind of talking about it. You know, all 3 of those guys, when the game's in the line, that's their go-to guy when they were on different teams. And now you got 3 of them. One of them's going to have to downgrade their role. Who's going to be the third wheel on the team? Is it going to be Harden? Is it going to be Kyrie? Or is it going to be KD? And then, you know, you got Steve Nash, who is first-year head coach. You know, how is he going to handle this whole situation? But yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, I say if they don't make the finals, it's a big bust. But, you know, Bielen kind of hit on the head too. The real winner in this was the Rockets. You got eight first-round picks for your future. That's huge. So I think the Rockets definitely won this trade.
Yep, and they picked up Oladipo. They got Oladipo, Victor Oladipo, I think from Indiana went there.
Oladipo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And before I get to Sis, if you notice, Carson, he's wearing a Penn State hat, and Bobby was mentioning having a Big Ten round table. So
there you go.
But if you missed it earlier, Sis is ecstatic because Kurt gave him the great news that Bill O'Brien is now the Alabama offensive coordinator, and that's Sis's right-hand man.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Is it official?
I don't know if it's official.
He don't like him.
I don't think
it's not like. What are your thoughts on the Nets and the whole NBA, Sis?
Just like Kenny was wrong, he said Ohio State was going to beat Alabama, but whatever. They need a bigger boat, the Nets.
Do they go to the finals?
They should. Absolutely.
You're going to get the final word on this, my friend.
My final word again. When they say it's like about star power, I don't know if like it's too much star power. When you asked, it's just like Carson and Bielen. It's just such a bad mix. Like like they're saying, what is Harden going to do? Stand in a corner? Like Harden needs the ball. Harden's a ball handler. They really should. Kyrie's going to be the problem. We talked about it last night because Kyrie is. Kyrie, we were talking to Petro last night. Kyrie had a problem in Cleveland saying he should be the number 1 option with LeBron.
Yeah.
He's not going to respect KD and Harden. So in his mind, he's going to have the ball. When in reality, he's a way low number 3. But they should package him. Seriously, like the ball should be.
You know how it could work though, Kurt? It could, and I know he probably doesn't want to do this, but Kyrie coming off as a 6th man, but playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah, but is he gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? Like I agree with you.
If you play your minutes, why not?
In his mind, in his mind, he thought he was the man.
His
in
mind
Cleveland.
is.
I mean, that's nuts.
My thing, Carson, we were talking about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make an example of somebody. This NBA is starting to become a disaster. Harden wants to get traded. He gets his wish. Or I'm not playing. You got Kyrie Irving. I'm not playing. They're making all this money. You find them a game. You find them $70,000. That's like an hour's worth of work for us.
70,000. You know what his game check is?
What's his game check?
How much you think his game check is?
100,000.
100,000.
Guess again.
I bet it's way higher.
320.
424.
Yeah, you and obviously he doesn't need that money.
But what money? But what money? They're not suspended. They're paying him. They did not pay him.
Okay, they are paying him. I didn't know that.
Him.
We need to make an example. The NBA needs to make an example of somebody. Send him to not Detroit. I'm not going to say Detroit. Send him to Utah and live with the Mormons for a year. You want send them to Sacramento. Go try and win a championship with Sacramento. You got to make an example of one of these guys. I would have did that with Harden. I would have traded him to the worst team in the NBA for nothing. You want Harden? Build your team up. Just give us a couple of your guys.
Yeah, but look what Carson said. What Houston got out of that deal is crazy. Houston, it's crazy. All those number one picks, a swap with the Nets on those picks. Bobby's saying this is the perfect hedge for Kyrie not playing. KD now has another alpha to play with when Kyrie is out. But like that, how can you depend on Kyrie?
But that's what you bank on. One of your star players not playing,
right? I mean, he is a disaster. And honestly, now my attitude would be, you know what? The Nets don't owe Kyrie anything, man. You know what? Trade his ass.
You know what?
Get him out of there.
You know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate just because we're Knicks fans. Carson's a Pistons fan. Our teams are all bad. I'm going to play devil's advocate. If these three guys were on the Knicks, I would support them and be happy like Bobby is. I would expect them to win a championship, but I would be ripping, and I mean ripping apart Kyrie Irving. No tomorrow. I'd be on the
I'll tell you this. If Kyrie Irving did this on the Knicks, sis, all right? If he did this on the Knicks, he would seriously, the media would force him to quit because he would never do this on the Knicks. You couldn't do it. You would get no one's even like they're talking more about it like on ESPN than they are in New York. Because why? Honestly, nobody cares here about them.
Carson, we got a show. We got an ESPN New York. There's a show. Michael Kay, he's big Yankee broadcaster and huge ESPN guy on the radio in New York. And they weren't even getting calls on it yesterday because it was Brooklyn.
Wow.
It's what does that tell you? It's like these guys are running to a team that nobody is going to cover, and there's no fans now, so there's no pressure on them.
But Carson called it the best, and he used the word bust. If they don't, I'm even going to go a little higher than Carson. If they don't win a championship in the next 3 years, this has been an epic failure, and it's going to destroy this team for the next 10 years. Listen, it's worth the gamble, but if they don't win it, I don't want to hear they were in the finals 3 years, but they lost all 3 years. They didn't build them to get to the finals. They built them to win the finals.
My last take on it, they go to the finals. Let's say they go to the finals and lose to the Lakers. Is Harden going to want to trade next year again because he can't win with the Nets? Where's he going to want to go next? Go join LeBron?
Right.
Where is he going next? This is it. Like, you don't win now, you never win in the championship.
Nope. Time will tell.
I know our Viva Los Bills guys are coming on after us, Kurt. I don't know if you want to.
No, let's just do this. Let's just do a final word. Carson, give us just a quick final word, 30 seconds, going into the weekend, what you're looking forward to sports-wise, anything.
It's going to be interesting to see the first Nets game with Harden and KD. We're going to see what happens with that. It should be we got some great NFL matchups this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Hockey's back tonight. I'm pumped for that. Go Red Wings. And, we'll just kind of see what happens this weekend for sports, but I'm looking forward to it.
Bielen, what about you? Final word. How do you think Bielen's going to look in the pony outfit?
I want to see Kurt in it. I'm sorry,
It's
Viva
not
Los
gonna-
Bills.
It's
I,
not
I
gonna
have
happen.
to.
The
I have
Viva
to.
Los
find-
Bills guys may be rooting for the Ravens when I tell them to bet.
I have to find a kid size. That's gonna might be a little hard. So
Well, it'd be cheaper for you. Well, I gotta buy it. That's right. I gotta buy it. So, yeah. But that,
no, I mean, listen. Yeah, hockey's back. I'm not a real big hockey fan, honestly. But it's sports are coming back around. It's feeling somewhat normal, right? You just need some fans in the stands. Hopefully, baseball will allow a couple people this year. XFL's brewing up at the end of the year. Get ready. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Not too much to say, honestly.
Bobby's saying his final word: Kurt and his wacky eating habits will never get a food show on Black. Listen, that you would have one rating on it because it'd be the boringest show ever. Sis, what's your final word?
Big weekend if you're a football fan, obviously. And in this order, Kurt's 3 favorite teams are Denver, the Knicks, and St. John's.
You know what?
That's it.
But I'm gonna tell you something people don't know. The Knicks and Broncos are 50-50, right down that arrow for me. That love is 50, and then Auburn and St. John's is 50-50. But people keep thinking I'm Broncos. I'm right,
Yeah.
Kenny. I'm
Carson,
a diehard Knicks
when the
fan,
Knicks were
man.
Good, when the Knicks were good in the 90s and we were just like really
I'm
competitive.
always diehard though.
We used to put basketball trading cards in the freezer to try and
Freeze
ice the
Reggie
players
Miller,
down.
man. We used to,
Reggie Miller, we would put in the freezer.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
he's killing us. We got to put him in the freezer. Cool him down.
That's great.
We had a Knicks mass.
We had like a church mass.
Yeah, we did a whole a whole mass like we were. It was all about
It was
Knicks.
nuts. It was nuts. What's your
It's not
final
bad.
word, Kenny?
Final word is I'm looking forward to the football games. Bills, Ravens, and Bucks, Saints. All games actually,
Yeah.
because the two underdogs, they got a good possibility of pulling it through, and it'd be interesting if they can. So I'm excited for a nice weekend off of work and a nice weekend of football.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I think I know a lot of people say championship Sunday and obviously Super Bowl, but I love this weekend. And I love how they do it where they go 4:30 in a night game and then they go 3 o'clock in a 6:40 game. It's the best. You got probably the 8 best teams in football. The team's always coming off a bye, so I love this weekend in football. It just sucks that our teams aren't on it, but hopefully, next
At least
year
Sis got a Bama championship,
Yes,
and
he
at least
did.
Carson's got Michigan State basketball. I don't know about us three guys. I don't know what we're rooting for.
Yep.
Yeah,
My Alabama hat is on the way. My Alabama.
but you know what?
person
Bielen's
that-
got his
State's gonna
Braves.
pick it up. We're struggling, man. I'm hoping we turn it around. We're not looking so pretty right now. We've lost a lot of games. But
Carson,
hopefully
you
we
know
can
what?
turn it around.
Everybody says it every year, and then come March, put your money
Yeah.
on Izzo. He'll have the team ready to roll every
Yeah.
year. Every year.
Absolutely.
All right.
Carson, you want to just before we go, you want to shout out your
Yeah, please
check-
shout out your show.
Oh yeah, Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys like casino games and like winning some money, stop by Ticket Time live stream on YouTube. It's gonna be a good time.
This
Don't want to miss it.
setting you up on Saturday. Me and you are going to go on together. We'll go on Carson's show on Saturday.
I gave up gambling for Lent.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm
Hey,
teasing, I'm
hey!
teasing.
Can I add one? Can
No,
I
he
add one
didn't.
more thing, guys? Wait, can I add one more stipulation before we get off, Kenny?
Yeah.
Whoever loses, not only do we have to come on our show, we have to go on Carson's show with the pony outfit on.
I'm in.
All right,
Zoom you guys in.
all right. Bielen's in. But
Awesome. And then we're going to set up some things going. Real quick, I got my vaccine shot. Feel great. I think it's going to be a good thing for the country, guys. And I think 2021 is going to start coming around, and we're going to get back to some normality, not only with sports, but in general living. So look forward to that. The days we can start traveling a little more and meet up with Carson and do some things with him.
That'd be sweet,
yes,
man.
sir.
Looking
And
forward
then
to it.
final word, Rob Neely put a picture of a one-trick pony on our post, and final word's going to be Will Cologne saying, John Bielen is looking forward to watching the Bills win. So that's from Will.
Will, I'll see you in a few minutes. I got some breaking news.
All right. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. We'll see you in a little bit. And
Carson, thanks for joining.
thank you, Carson.
Absolutely,
Thank you,
yeah.
Bielen.
Take
Thank
care,
you,
guys.
Mr.
Always a
Sis.
pleasure.
Sis,
You're
thanks for
welcome.
joining. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you.